Yeah, well, anyway, today I'm gonna do a movie review on the very latest and long anticipated, hardcore anticipated Venom. This time it's not a Marvel standalone movie, it's Sony, okay? Sony is in charge. It's not Marvel under the Disney label, it's completely independent, and that means Tom Holland is not showing up in the movie anytime, so I just want to clarify that to all the people who doesn't know about this movie. And when I learned about this movie, I was very interested, very intrigued, but yet kind of skeptical, because it doesn't tie into the whole Marvel cinematic universe. But then it's refreshing to see a villain led movie once in a while. In fact, Joker is releasing in 2019, and that's another villain led movie, and I'm looking forward to that a lot. But let's get back on track and talk about Venom. Yeah, the movie, the plot is interesting, and I'm gonna talk about a few things that I like about the movie. First of all, Eddie Brock, for some reason, is a very rootable character. He is, yeah, even though the whole character arc that he had gone through is kind of cliche, but still, I can't help but root for him because I don't know, like he's just in this very low point, and then he got this symbiote thing in him, and now he's powerful, he's strong, and they are cooperating, and it's pretty cool. And I root for the symbiote Venom as well. And what I think is the most entertaining about the movie is the conversation between Eddie Brock and Venom, the symbiote. And yeah, they act as sort of a comedic relief to the movie in several times, and I think it worked pretty well. Even though it kind of ruined the very horrifying tone of the movie that the movie is supposed to be, it's really, really entertaining, to be honest. Oh, yeah, by the way, the plot. I forgot to talk about the plot of the movie. Basically, Eddie Brock, he was a reporter, and then one day he basically spoke too much. He saw too much, spoke too much, did too much, and he lost his job, he lost his girlfriend, and he is broke, and he's in a very low point in life. And then meanwhile, in the other side of the city, we have Carlton Drake. That's the evil scientist who believes humans are so inferior, and hey, what if we, you know, mix these aliens with humans and fuse them together? These aliens being symbiotes, which are these very horrifying gooey thing that goes around. And before Eddie Brock lost his job as a reporter, he tried to, expose Carlton Drake, but then failed. And then after a while, a doctor from Carlton Drake's team went to find Eddie Brock and told him all the secrets and brought him to the lab, and then shit happened and the symbiote went into Eddie Brock. And now Eddie Brock is Venom. And yeah, that's a pretty interesting plot. But there are definitely flaws in this movie. I know there are a lot of Venom fans out there right now who loves this movie. And I think I do get why it's entertaining, but you have to admit there are flaws in this movie. First of all, Riz Ahmed as Carlton Drake, such a miscast. Such a poor decision, okay? Riz Ahmed is a good actor. Him in Nightcrawler is pretty amazing, but right here, it's not a role for him. And, he brings no color and no flavor, nothing special to the character of Carlton Drake. In fact, I don't think it's Riz's fault. I think it's the writer's fault to make the villain so weak and so bland. And the story is really basic. You know, a guy in a low point in life fights back, and then the symbiote changes his mind, and then he sort of becomes this anti-hero, not exactly a villain. And we also have a love interest, that's Michelle Williams, but she doesn't get much screen time, to be honest. And and then we have a twist in the middle, and then we have a comeback at the end. It's a pretty simple formula. The action sequences on this thing are pretty cliche, pretty basic once again. Nothing all that creative, nothing all that special. I mean, it's okay. Okay, it's not terrible. It's just okay. It's kind of underwhelming, to be honest. And then, the biggest gripe that most people have with this movie is that it's not rated R, okay? It's not rated R. So when Venom was biting somebody's head off, it just cuts to black. The end. End of scene. And that's so unsatisfying. That's so dissatisfying. And of course, we have a lot of shits, but we only have one fuck because it's PG-13. You can say the F word, but only once. And again, Michelle Williams, her character, I think it's Annie and Eddie's, they have no chemistry whatsoever. They have no chemistry whatsoever. And then in the last act of the movie, she is heavily involved, but I just don't root for her because she's just kind of a bland, forgettable character in the background. And in fact, very minor spoiler alert, we get a glimpse of Venom, which is thick, and Venom, big game. And the editing is really choppy, and it's not really that good. And the title theme song, Eminem's Venom, not good. Eminem sounds ridiculous, and the chorus, Venom, Venom, it's disgusting. It's gross, okay? And I talked about this song on the Kamikaze album review. Go check it out. And the last act, the beginning of the last act of the movie makes zero sense. In fact, a lot of the scenes in this movie make zero sense. They just happen for the sake of entertainment. Before Venom was like, I am Venom and you are mine. And Eddie Brock's like Eddie Brock was terrified. And then a few scenes later, the symbiote Venom jumped out of Eddie Brock, and Eddie was all of a sudden super angry at the symbiote. What about we? What about we? All this time you were killing me. And it just doesn't add up. And then, Michelle Williams' character, Annie, when she saw Venom taking out, SWAT teams, she was terrified. She was really, really frightened. But then at the beginning of the last act, when Eddie Brock was like, nope, you don't want to see this, it's gonna get ugly. And Michelle Williams' character, Annie, was like, nope, I could take it. It's bullshit. I could take it. And I'm like, doesn't add up. And the fact that there are a lot of breather scenes where this other symbiote from far, far away somehow traveled all the way from Malaysia to China, went into a plane and flew to San Francisco all the way just to get into Carlton Drake is pretty dumb, to be honest. Pretty dumb. Again, I think the movie is fairly entertaining. It's okay, and it's not as bad as some of the critics say. And I can see that Tom Hardy is really, really committed to this role, and I'm glad that he is, but still, the script is pretty weak, pretty middle of the road, pretty basic, and the characters are just so bland and forgettable and cliche and trite. It just feels like what Tom Hardy did was sort of wasted simply because of other factors. Yeah, I'm gonna say Venom is meh, and I'm giving it a 6 out of 10. So, have you watched Venom from 1 to 10? How much you rate it? Like if you like it, and subscribe if you want more. And, I know this video is gonna get quite a number of dislikes because, I don't even hate the movie. I think it's just okay. Okay, it's not great, it's okay. And also, please subscribe to my channel if you want this channel to grow so that I could make better videos with higher quality and originality. Yeah.